Hello friends, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about wrapper classes in Java. So wrapper classes is a concept which we all need to understand. In this lecture, we will cover it. So wrapper classes. What are wrapper classes in Java? So Java provides us with 8 wrappers for our primitive data types. So primitive data types are data types we've seen in the data types lesson where we have int, float, double, long, boolean and character, all the different types of primitive data types. There are 8 primitive data types. So these data types are all you've seen. There are no methods on those data types. They are all not objects. So Java is an object-oriented programming language where the constructs are should be there should be objects so that we can handle them specifically. So Java provides us with the solution of wrapper classes, which will wrap around the particular primitive data types and provides us with the wrappers. And these wrappers can be used. You have handful of methods that can be used to manipulate their particular primitives. Example of wrappers will be like for boolean it's boolean, which starts with capital because it's a class, and similar to that, for int and character, their wrappers will be for int it is integer and char it is character. And um, one more thing about wrapper classes is that it has like methods to parse and do string representations. Everything there is methods to handle the particular wrappers. So each wrapper class will have its own different set of methods. We will discuss when the practical session will come. Now let us discuss about wrapper classes advantages. So the first advantage is that we can use wrapper classes in collections. So collections does not support primitive data types, but it will support wrappers, and we have to use wrappers in collections. Next one thing is synchronization. So synchronization is a process of inter-thread communication process. So we will discuss about synchronization when the multi-threading lesson will come. For now, it's thing like it's a feature of threads. So it will allow communication between different threads, and this is possible only if it is an object. So wrapper classes are provided to have that feature for data types. And next feature is mm, serialization. So serialization is process of converting our particular file into particular class into a writable file, a writable byte stream. So in this process also is possible if only the particular data type is converted into a wrapper. So next we will discuss about some of the common methods which are available in the wrapper classes. So the first one is the parse method. So parse followed by the type name will be the primitive method name. For example, for double will be double dot parse double. So it will parse the particular string into the particular data wrapper class, and like that it will help to parse the string. Next type of method is constants. So there are some static constants which are available in the wrapper classes for each wrappers, so that maximum limit length, maximum length, size, these all things will be automatically we can get it from the static constants. And next things is the value of method. So if you want to have we check the value of a particular primitive data type and assign it to a wrapper, we can use the value of a particular value of method. Next one is the string two string method. Two string method is overridden in each wrappers, so that the string representation of the particular wrapper will be provided, and this is used helpful if you want to print the particular wrapper's value. And that is it for the theoretical session on wrapper classes. And now let us see some programs based on wrapper classes. Now let us see a program based on wrapper classes in Java. So here in this program, I am printing out the constants which are available in the wrapper classes. So you can see here max value is a constant which is available on the particular wrapper, and that value will print what is the maximum value of the particular wrapper that will be printing. Next type is bytes. So bytes constant will print the number of bytes which is there in the particular wrapper. So that's how these two constants will work. Next type of constant is double dot infinity. So if there is some division operation and we are dividing it with 0, at that time infinity will come. So to have that value, there is in Java there is a feature of infinity, positive infinity and negative infinity. If the numerator is negative, then the value will be negative infinity. If the numerator is positive, then if you divide it with 0, the result will be positive infinity. So I'm checking in the if loop whether that value is equal to positive infinity. When you divide double numbers, this is possible. And let us see the output of this program. So here we can see the output as came, and these constant values are getting printed. And this is it for this program. I'll come back with another program. Now let us discuss about another program in wrapper classes. In this program, we are going to use print out all the methods which are present in the wrapper classes. One by one, we will print out most of the methods which are present in the wrapper classes. So we'll start with an integer wrapper. So here I am putting an integer dot value of. So the value of method we can use to give the particular primitive value, and you will get the particular wrapper of that is used to return you the wrapper object. There is a constructor which is available for the wrappers, but it has been deprecated since Java 9. So we cannot use that constructor to create a particular wrapper. So you have to use the value of method to create the wrapper. And next thing is double dot value of. So you can see the value of method will can take either a particular integer value or a double value, or it can have a string also as a overloaded method. So it is having an overloaded feature. So here we am supplying with the string value in the double dot value of. And after that getting the max value of two numbers. So we can get the max value of two numbers using the double dot max value of method, max value method, max method. And now after that I'm using the long to parse a long type. And after that I am checking for characters each letter function in character wrapper. So characters also has a wrapper class. So in this character wrapper class we can check for a particular way letter alphabet is a letter or not. Alphabet which is a letter or not, we can check. Next thing is the string method. So integer dot to string, it will what it will do is we can use the get the string representation of the particular wrapper by using this method. And finally I'm using the creating a double and getting the double value. So the double value can be returned from the particular wrapper. That is all the functions which are there in the particular wrapper classes. Let us see the output of this program. So here we can see one by one each values are getting printed. So if we check with the corresponding print statement, the values are coming correctly. And you can see one by one. So here you can see each letter is getting false for at the rate symbol. So at the rate symbol is not a letter. So that is how the output of this program. So, thank you for watching this lecture on wrapper classes. In this lecture, we have covered about wrapper classes in Java. So, what are the wrapper classes and how we can use the wrapper classes different methods. Also, we have seen the constants which are available in the wrapper classes. Also, thank you for watching. I will come back with another lecture. Hello friends and welcome back. In this lecture we are going to discuss about autoboxing and unboxing feature in Java. So this was a feature which was laterly introduced into Java, and this feature has a functionality like if there is a primitive data type and we want to convert into its wrapper automatically. So this process is called as autoboxing. So autoboxing is a process by which a primitive value is converted into its object form in wrapper class, its corresponding wrapper. So then that is the process of autoboxing. So autoboxing is done when we will pass the particular method in a method variable in a method, and when we assign a variable to a particular variable, at that time also the autoboxing will happen. So it will be like boxing the particular primitive type into its corresponding wrapper. That will happen. The reverse process of converting a wrapper back into its primitive form is called as unboxing in Java. So this is also done when we pass it in a parameter, and when we assign a particular value, that time also auto unboxing will be done. So let us see some programs based on autoboxing and unboxing in Java. So let us see a program based on wrapper classes in Java and with autoboxing and unboxing feature. So here we can see in this program I have declared a sum method which is taking the wrapper objects. So I will use this method to get the sum of two numbers, and this will take a wrapper class integer values as its parameters and return two values which is wrapped to back to the particular uh, integer return type, and that's how that method is. Now let us see the main method of this program. So in this main method I am demonstrating the autoboxing as well as unboxing feature. So the autoboxing feature first I will explain. So here you can see I have declared a variable of int, and I am initially another declared another variable of b. So when I am assigning a b and a, then that time the auto boxing will happen. So automatically the primitive data type will be boxed to its corresponding wrapper. So that is the process of auto boxing. And next we will explain about unboxing in Java. So unboxing process you can see here I declare a double variable, and that variable is assigned back to its primitive. So at that time the unboxing will happen. So when during assignment operation this unboxing will automatically happen. So we don't need to explicitly or we don't need to do anything to convert the types. Java compiler will automatically convert these types. In before JDK5 it was not available. So after JDK5 this feature was introduced. So before JDK5 we have to handle this kind of scenarios by manually using the value of method and getting the particular value and then equating the value back to the primitive. Like that we have to handle, but now the compiler will handle this specific case. And the finally I am using the sum method to show you that in while parameter passing also this auto boxing will happen. So when we pass a particular where they are expecting um, a wrapper as a parameter, there you will can pass the primitive as a parameter also. So that's why that boxing will happen automatically, and that's how this feature is there in Java. So let us see the output of this program. So here you can see the output has came. The values are printing correctly, and that is it for this section on autoboxing and unboxing. In this lecture we have seen about this feature of autoboxing and unboxing, which is a feature which was introduced after jdk5, which allows us to have automatic conversion between the primitive and its corresponding wrapper. So this is a good feature to understand. So thank you for watching this lecture. Please continue watching the series. Hello friends, welcome back. In this lecture we are going to discuss about math class in Java. So what is math class? Class is a class which will brings up with math functionality into Java. So mathematical operations are all supported in Java as we seen in operators lesson. So math class will provide with us with additional functionality to handle mathematical operations. So one other important thing to understand about math class is that when you use math class functionalities, there is a chance of having overflow and underflow. Overflow means value will be greater than our container value. So that is a chance. If you calculate the large values, then at that time there is a possibility. So we have to handle that specifically. And there is a chance of underflow. Underflow means value is less than whatever the least amount which can hold by the particular data type. So that we need to understand. And next we can understand, we are seen in the imports lesson, we can do static import of math class. So we can avoid using the class name. So next we'll discuss about methods inside the math class, which are, I am not going to explain about every single method because it will take a lot of time, but I'll explain about some of the important methods which are there in the math class. So in math class, there is a method called as ABS. So ABS will return you the absolute value of a particular number. So the number's absolute value means removing the negative sign, and the absolute value will be like that. Next thing is max. So max will return you the maximum value of between two numbers. If you pass two numbers, it will return you the maximum value of the two number. Next method is round. So round will do the rounding of operation. It will round the particular decimal places and it will give you the particular value. Next is the sqrt, square root of the particular number will be returned you for after using the math.sqrt function. Next method is power, pow. So power will return, we can pass two values in the value comma the particular exponent value which we want to provide. So that will be math.power. Next value, next thing which you need to understand is math class has also constants which we can use in our program such as pi, e, etc. The constants will be there. So next we will discuss about other methods. The first one is floor method. So floor method is used to, if you are have an integer and you want to find the nearest lower integer value, the nearest to that integer, then that will be floor. We will get the floor value. Next thing which you need to understand is the seal. So seal will be the greatest closest to the particular integer, greatest value of integer closest to the particular number. Next is the log will give you the logarithmic value of a particular mathematical operation. And next thing which you need to understand is exp will uh, give you the e to the power whatever the value you want to provide, that value you will get. So in this lecture we have seen about math class. One more thing to understand is math class has a lot of functionalities to have trigonometric functions such as sine, cos, tan. All the functionality is there in math class. Also logarithmic functionality also is available. So we can calculate the log and tan value, sine value, cos value. All the values can be calculated. So let us see some practical programs based on this math class. In this program, we are going to see math class different constants as well as methods inside the particular math class. So we will see about math class. Let's start. So here I am printing out the constants pi and e. Pi we all know the radius, how to calculate the area will be pi r square. So at that time we will use the pi value. So the pi value is available in math class, and after that I am using the e value. E will be the exponent e. So that e will be used to calculate logarithmic functionality and everything. We will use e. And the next thing is I'm printing out the methods which is present in the math class. So the methods are, the first one is the ABS method, absolute value. So if a negative number is there, its absolute value will be calculated and printed. Next is seal method. Seal method means you want to find out the most near largest integer value which is close to the particular decimal value. So at the time seal can be used, which is explained in the theoretical section. Similar to that, floor value. So the lowest value, integer value which is near, that will be printed. Next is exponent function. So e to the power whatever you want to print, that value will be printed. Next is the increment exact. So it will exactly increment the particular value by one number. So you will see how the increment exact will work. Next method is math dot power. So math dot power, it will find the particular power of the particular two numbers which will pass. For example, 10 raised to 2. So 10 square will be printed. That value whatever is there, it will be calculated. Next thing is math.max. So it will print the max value between the two values, whichever the max value is there, that will be printed. Now let us see the output to see each one by one how what is the value is getting printed. So here we can see the output as generated. So one by one the values are getting printed. So you can see the constants values are getting printed, and each method, seal value, floor value, exponent value, e power value, everything is getting printed one by one, and you can see the values are getting printed. So now let us see another program based on math class in Java. Now let us see another program on math class. So in this program we are going to roll a dice, but we roll a dice and calculate its values. So rolling a dice, we know how to play, do that in games and all. We used to roll the dice. So the roll dice can have six different outputs, 1 to 6, whatever the values is there, that can be possible. So in this program we are using the math.random function, which will return you a particular value between 0 and 1.0. So that will be a decimal value. So I am getting the decimal value, and then here I am multiplying the value, multiplying the value with 10, and then calculating the remainder with 6. So if it is, for example, if the remainder will be 5.2 or like that, then I am using the seal method to seal it to 6. So like that, the value, final value will be returned as a 6.0, and then I will cast it to integer value. So the final return value will be 6. So like that, for each stage, each row or each permutation of the dice, it will be an output for this. So like that, this program is, let us see the output to see what is the result when we roll the dice. So here for me the roll dice output was 2. So let us again run this program. So here I am getting 1. So every time if I roll the dice, the output will be different, and it is the functionality using the math.random function. So let us summarize this lecture. In this lecture, we are seeing about math class, which brings up mathematical operations in Java. So you have to be using this math classes carefully to avoid large values. If comes into a particular container of a small container, then there will be an overflow and underflow which you have to handle. So we will discuss about more about this kind of in the when we discuss about big integers and big decimals, then we will understand how to avoid this kind of scenarios. So thank you for watching this lecture. Please continue watching the series. Hello friends and welcome back to our lecture series. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about big decimal and big integer values in Java. So these two are features which are provided in the Java in order to have achieve like operations with large numbers. So we'll start with the big integer. So big integer is a class in which we will have the functionality to create large integers, and we have seen in theoretically there is a limit for integer data type. So if there is if our value overflows over the limit of the particular data type, then there will be errors in our program. So to avoid that, we can use a big integer data type which doesn't have any limit. Only limit is that it will use up all your memory, and that is the only limit for it. And one more thing is big integers are declared by using the providing the in the constructor we will provide the integer value in the as a string. So like that we are declaring big integer values. And next thing to mention about big integers are they have all the native methods like a multiply, add. All the methods are available in the big integer. Also some other complex methods are also available in the big integer. So the big integers are used when data types, if you use sometimes precision errors will come, so that the values will be having differences in small amounts. Those precision errors will be avoided if you use big integer class. And one last thing about big integer class, it is an immutable class, which means that like string, if big integer once you declare it you cannot change the value. So that is we will see in the practical. Now let us see the about big decimal. So big decimal class is used to store immutable large values. So the large floating point values. So if there is a decimal places are there with large decimal places, and all the program is the value which you need to store is having very large values. So at that time you can use the big decimal. And in big decimal we will provide the values in the constructor. So you have to specify in the constructor, you have to provide the big decimal value as a string in the constructor of the particular big decimal class. And next thing is like big integer, it is also immutable, and it has all the methods which can operate on mathematical operations such as add, multiply, division. All the methods are available, and also some extra methods are there. We will see in the practical. Now let us see the programs based on big integer and big decimal classes in Java. Now let us discuss a program on big integers in Java. So big integers are used to hold a large number of large values which we cannot hold using int. So when you use in big integers, the advantage is like there will be no precision errors. So if you use normal data types such as int, there is a chance of getting precision errors. And there is a chance if you use if the overflow and underflow will occur. Many different problems will come if you use normal data type. So in that case we can use big decimal or big integer data types. So big integers, its syntax for declaring big integers are like this. You have to provide the particular value as a constructor as a string. So like that you have to provide. And one other thing is there are several methods inside the big integer class. So the first one is the bit count. So it will return you how many bits are there in your particular number which you have declared. And abs method will return you the absolute value, whatever the negative, removing the negative number, and it will print the absolute value of your particular value field value. Next thing is the the addition operation. So addition operation, while doing, you have to remember one thing, that addition can be done using each an immutable class, which means once you declare a class you cannot change the value. So that's how the immutable classes are there. And so the big decimal and big integer classes are immutable classes. So you need to declare an additional variable to hold the particular values after addition. And finally, I am using the prime method to check whether is prime or not a particular number. So like that also we can have additional functionality. There are many other different functions which are available in the particular big decimal and big integer classes, and we have to check one by one. It will take a lot of time. But for now, let us see the output of this program. So the output is came. So one by one each the values are getting printed as expected. There is no problem with the output. So in this section we are covered about big integers. So big integers are used to hold large integer values as we seen. So when we use big integers, there are several methods which are available within the big integer class. Each methods will have some functionality, and please check it out when you have time. We will see a program based on big decimal next. Now let us discuss about a program which is having big decimal. So big decimal is used to store large decimal values. So here you can see the big decimal I have declared, and in the constructor I am providing the particular big decimal value with the decimal places, and after that I am printing the particular value, and after that I am printing the method int value. So int value will return you the integer value of the particular decimal number or the big decimal number. And the next method is precision. So precision will tell you how much precision of numbers are available in your particular number which you declared. And the next is the power method. So power method will return you the you can calculate the power, which means the raised to whatever the value you want to provide, get that particular value you will get. So that will return you the power of the particular number. So let us see the output of this program. So here you can see the output. All the values are getting printed one by one. Here you can see. So that's it for this program. And in this lecture we are covered about big decimal and big integer data types. So the both data types or classes are used to store large numbers. So if you want to store large numbers, then you have to use big decimal or big integer data type, because there are precision errors which will come if you use the normal data type. There is will be a decimal place or something will get wrong if you use for large numbers. If you are operating with the normal numbers in the small numbers which are not exceeding the limits of the particular data type, then you can use the data normal the primary primitive data types. Else in that cases you can use other cases you can use the big decimal and big integer data type. Thank you for watching this lecture. Please continue watching the series. Thank you. Now in this final lecture of this section, we will discover about number formatting in Java. So number formatting is a feature by which we will be formatting our numbers according to particular regions, countries and everything. So also called as local. So according to different local we can customize our code, and we can able to have the particular representation of the number in all the country format. So that is possible in Java. So this class belongs to number formatter class. Number format class belongs to java.text package. So in that package it is. And one more thing about number formatting is that it will not use the new operator to instantiate the number format class. Instead we will have a get instance method. So we can use that method to create the object, and then we will format based on local. And then finally we can also format based on currencies. So that feature is available. So we can based on the currency settings of a particular local, we can format our number. So that is available in Java. And this is it for the theoretical session of number formatting, and we will see an example in which we will go through all the number format features, and also we will see the class decimal format, how we can format decimal numbers also we will see in that example. So thank you for watching. I will let us see the practical for this lesson. In this lecture, let us discuss about number format classes program. And in this program, we are going to have a number format class which will format according to the Denmark standards. So Denmark, how the formatting of numbers is happening, that standard we will follow. And here you can see first initially I am declaring a local object. So the local means it will be like a representation of country, specific country's object will be mentioned there. So here DA, DK, two parameters I'm passing as strings which will represent the particular country. And after that I am creating the number format instance. So in order to create the number format instance, I have to use the static method number format dot get instance, and in the get instance method I will supply the particular local which I have created. After that I am using the format method to format the particular number according to the local. So here I am passing the particular number which I want to pass, which I want to format, and after that I'm printing out the particular string which I am getting as return value. So let us see the output of this program. So here you can see that the number which is I given was formatted according to the standards of Denmark. So here you can see the dot and comma coming in between the number. So that's how the standards for the. So this is a number formatting instance we have seen. So let us see another program in which I will explain about currency format. Now let us see a program based on currency formatting in Java. So here, similar to the last program, we will have to create a local object. So I will create a local object of particular Denmark. So like that I am putting, and after that I have to create an instance of currency number format instance only I will create. But the method we will use is get num currency instance. That method we will use and passing in the local like that. And after that in the I will use the format method which in which I will supply the particular currency value which I want to format, and after that I am printing out the particular currency value. Now let us see the output of this program. So here you can see the output. The particular currency has been printed with the particular currency name also is coming here. That's how the currency format will work. Now let us see another program in which I will explain about a decimal format in Java. Now let us see a program based on decimal formatting in Java. So decimal format is another class which help us to format numbers. So here you can see the decimal format class. So it will take you have to create a new object of this decimal format in which I am passing in this number notation. This is a representation which we want to give for the particular decimal number. So this is the syntax for it. A hash means a number separated by comma put. So like this is the syntax for declaring a decimal format for my. For after three numbers there should be a comma. So like that it will print. And next I have put another decimal format. You can use the format method here. You can see to format the numbers, and we created another decimal format here down, and in this decimal format you can see I have I have created another decimal format number which is it is having two decimal places only. So that's how the syntax for declaring the decimal formats. So the hash means a particular number, and the point and decimal point we have to provide, or commas we can provide in the decimal format class. Let us see the output of this program to see how the decimal format is getting printed. So here we can see the output. Each decimal format values are getting printed. So this is how the I am giving some values, but some of them are rounded off also. So rounding operation also will happen if you format the numbers. And Thank you for watching this lecture. In this lecture, we have covered about number formats as well as decimal format also, which is used to format numbers in Java. So please aware about this feature. This feature you don't need to create any classes to do the formatting and all, currency formatting and all. All the features are available within the Java only. So it is available in the java.txt package. So in that package there are other formatters also. And let us summarize this section. Thank you for watching this lecture. We please continue watching the series.